this 1,000 years back. It's a work of helping man. It's man that is being helped by God. We have been living life as first Adam on earth with what is called a perishable body. That is a body that can die and all of that. But this 1,000 year work of Christ is the work of the person that is like saying God has come to give people new clothes. The one that accepts the new clothes will be raised and raised and raised and raised to the place where you discovered his clothes will be clothes that does not go old again. This is the body now we are calling the clothes. The one that rejects the message, because the message is what is changing the clothes. This new wine, 7 trumpet, as we are drinking it, is causing progressive change in our internal heart nature, fruit of the spirit, and it's also immortal, changing our DNA of our body, changing our clothes. So, the person that rejects this to drink the food, it's like saying, God say, eat this food and you will grow. The person that refuses to eat the food, he will not grow. God will not necessarily hate the person. When the person reach, maybe the person, let's say, I'm just coming from different languages to try to explain this thing. There is new food, there is old food. People that eat old food, they will only live 70 years old. People that eat new food, their organs will be changing. Instead of liver to be getting old, liver will be getting new. Instead of kidney to be getting old, kidney will be getting new. In such a way that their body will so change, in such a way that they will not just be living 100, they can live 1,000 years. This is what 7 trumpet has come. This is the work that God is doing in this 1,000 years. As many that accept the message, they will be receiving the benefit of the message. What the message can do will be happening in them. Those that reject the message, by the time they live up to their expiry date, they will die. They will not necessarily go to hell or whatever. They will continue in their own realm until the day that their soul is given another body in the resurrection. Whatever body that they are given as the Lord chooses based on how Corinthians says it. So, it's a matter of food is available. New food is available. New wine is available. Bible says on the 3rd day, that was the example my wife was quoting, on the 3rd day, that was the day that God changed water to wine. That marriage feast happened on the 3rd day, even if you read the Bible verse. So now we are symbolically in the 3rd day of Christ's resurrection again, where Christ has turned water to wine. As many that will be drinking this wine will be having the benefit of this wine, whereas the old people that reject this wine, the old world that reject this wine, they will, once they reach their expiry date, they will pass. They reach their expiry date, they will pass. So over time, over this next 1,000 years, you begin to see the earth is beginning to be repopulated by people whose nature have been advanced. Over this next 1,000 years, you begin to see the earth is being repopulated with people that, just as a verse in Isaiah says, he said, if someone dies as a child, if someone dies at 100 years, you'll be considered a child. Can you see that? Now, if somebody reached 70 in the old world, we say he's an old person. But Bible shows us that as this work continues, time we reach that, if someone dies at 100 years, we'll consider it a premature death. So that is the progressive change. Those that are drinking this message will be changing. It will reach to where those that fully embody this message can live 1,000 years and cross 1,000 years. So this message has come to stay. It will continue winning people, changing those that are allowing it, those that don't allow it will pass away with the old. Those that are waiting for Jesus to appear in the sky, they will live out their lifespan and they will not see it happen. Those that have embraced that Christ has returned with the 7th trumpet and are drinking the 7th trumpet will be enjoying the benefits of the change. So you see, this thing you are saying will continue for the next 1,000 years. So I really don't know if this explanation is clear. It's clear. So the message has come. God is not condemning those that are rejecting it more than those that are accepting it. Just like Jesus said, he said, I have not come to condemn you, but to give you life. He said, he that rejects this thing is already condemned. So the world is already condemned. It's like saying the old Adamic nature is already a disease. New trumpet is the cure. Is that disease that is in the old Adamic nature that is making somebody to grow old and die at 70? It's disease, so. I'm telling you, aging, degenerative aging, not growing up, degenerative aging of getting old and weak and organs are dying is a disease of first Adam. So seventh trumpet is curing that disease. As many that are drinking this disease, so Bible shows that they will be translating progressively. Those that reject, as many that drink this cure rather, they will be translating progressively. But those that reject the cure, they will be dying. So over time, the world will progressively be replaced by people that are cured by seventh trumpet. So the message of the seventh trumpet is also the leaves. Remember Revelation 22 says, the leaves of the tree of life. The whole world are coming to partake of that leaves for the healing of the nations. The original Greek says for the cure of the nations. That leaves of the tree of life is still the message of the seventh trumpet in the different portions we are sending them. Those that come and eat of it will be experiencing the cure. Both cure of the fallen nature and both cure of what can happen to the physical body. That is the cure that's ongoing. So you see why? This is why we say the message you dwell on is the message that will keep you. You see why seventh trumpet is not a mouth confession. If you eat the food will work for you. If you don't eat it, you will experience what the old are experiencing. God can love the person will still experience the old, because He has given us the food. So truly, our work in this next 1,000 years is to be progressively feasting and progressively changing, because this is the work of Christ in this 1,000 years that He's doing. He has already released the trumpets. So Philippians 3:20-21 says, when Christ comes, He will come to change the perishable body that we have, so that it will be changed to become His glorious body. This is the work that is happening in this next 1,000 years. You don't need to argue with anybody, say Christ has returned or not. Time will play out. The person will live out his whole years and you will still not see that physical Christ in the sky. So over time, this truth will become the dominant, accepted truth by everybody in the whole wide world. They will know that truly the cloud that Christ is appearing through are sons of the Most High God, which is the manifested sons of God. So that's the clouds of heaven. And before you know, the generation, just like we say, what is the ultimate goal of redemption? Is to repopulate the earth with mankind bearing the heart of God, bearing the nature of God, manifesting the fullness of God. We'll see it play out. It has already begun. So this is the work that this thing that we are calling seventh trumpet, we are celebrating 4 years this year. This is what we continue for the next 1,000 years. In the next 200 years, you have a greater population of the world that have been conformed to what seventh trumpet is. By 500, 600, by year 1,000. So the work has come to stay. So you may be physically, just like we also explain, you will be physically, just like we also explain using the children of Israel in the wilderness, that God passed judgment on them. And those that are of the old, they started dying in the wilderness. They could not enter. So before that 40 years finished, all the old generation that rejected the message died. By the end of 40 years, only those that believe enter promised land. That is the same thing happening now. 1,000 years. You'll be living with the people of the old physically, but you are new. That person is old. One is taken. One is left. But two of them are in the market. Two of them are still grinding. But one is already taken into the new. Why one is left behind in the old? Two of them will be sleeping on the same bed. Sometimes husband and wife. That's what Jesus means. Two will be in bed together. You can be husband and wife. Wife is taken. Husband is still on the earth. He's still left behind. So whether it could be in the field, in the grinding. So these things are already happening. Nobody disappear, but one is taken. One is left. Until the person allowed, then it will cross over into the new. So that is it. We got into association with the new. So it's already happening. We keep preaching our truth and we keep living the life of our truth. There are some people I know, it's possibly when they see you 50 years from now, and they are not seeing signs of aging or weakness, you are still, of course you may be more mature, but you are not old and weak. 50 years from now, the person will say, what are you eating? You say, so no, you say something is wrong. How can you still be like this? Then 100, the person may be dead already. Maybe it's the person's child that will now say, this person is my father's mate. Why is he looking younger than me? That is I am telling you, these are the things we will see upon this earth as the new world emerges. As the new world emerges, these are the things we will see. It's already playing out. So some people, they will wait to 100 years, they will not see that Christ return from the sky. But this truth will be dominating. And the thing is, we're even stretching it by saying 100 years. Oh. This thing I'm telling you, just watch out what is happening this 2023 to 2024 next year. You will know that 100 years we are saying is already here. People will see it. Those that are waiting for physical evidence will wait. They will see 100, 50, let me just use the word 50 at least. You know that even some people will still be alive in the next 50. Because if you say 100 now, that one is taking long. 50 years, some people will still see you. They will say no. Is it the medical practice you are doing, or is it fruit and herbs that you are eating? That you brethren have been preaching fruits and herbs. Is that what is keeping you young? You tell the person, go and eat fruit and herb 10 years ago. So I'm telling you, there is a real change happening in our DNA. So you see, the work of God now, so you see that the change now is not just change to our body. It's first of all change of internal heart nature. So as the world, immortal beings are populating the earth, there are also people that have good hearts. You see that? That's why the work of God is inside and outside. The first major change that seven trumpet does is incorruptibility before immortality. So it's changing our heart. We are bearing fruit of the Spirit. Our body is also progressively renewed and remaining on the earth. So at the end of the day, you see that the people that are refusing to die are not evil people. They are people whose heart are changed and are Christ-like. So you see the work. So it's a complete work. It's not a work of God will now immortalize somebody that still has wicked heart. No, you cannot. The work done is zero now. It's complete. So this is a beautiful work. So as Enoch said, the generation will keep passing and passing and passing until a righteous generation is what is filling the whole earth. This is what we are seeing. We'll see people. So the wicked will be dying. Whether they live 90 years, it's not our problem. You keep making sure you are the new. So the old will be passing away. The new will be. Just imagine they born somebody of the old, he will live and die. They born somebody of the new, he will live and remain. They born somebody of the old, he will live and die. They born somebody of the new, he will live and remain. So you see, the new is remaining, the old are dying. The new is remaining, the old are dying. Until it will come to a time where the whole earth is covered by people that have new wine skin, both inside and outside. So this is what is happening in this 1,000 years.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you for asking too. It's something, I know we've explained it in different places in the message, but maybe we've not come out to say it progressively like this. So this is what we'll see in the next 1,000 years. We'll not wait to see all these wicked people die in 2023. Then from 2024 there's no more wicked person on earth. No. Seven trumpet has landed. Replacing generation. Is it sorry?
Replacing generation.
Yes.
Because so it's all of them they coexist. So
they coexist.
One
they fade away. One they grow, they multiply. They grow, they multiply. So the thing is, what does the work has finally landed, which is seven trumpets. That's what is betting the news. So that is it.
Betting the heart that live forever.
Yeah. So you can see somebody may say, I'm doing seven trumpet. What about my mommy, my daddy in the village? No problem. If they reject, they will live out their old life and they will pass away. When they return in another body, they will return to a world that is saturated with the message of seven trumpets. So they will embrace it, whether we get to know them physically or not. Believe you me, as you become seven trumpet, you don't have soul attachment to anybody, but you will have true love attachment to all people. So I know that emotional thing of, I want to meet my mother in the new world, I want to meet, no problem. When seven trumpet finishes work, you will love your mother even if she's giving birth to as a child in another country. As a male child. So this is the tough message. But believe you me, anybody that will live long will reach where maturity will make him to not have any argument against this message again. In other words, the person can argue it now. Let him grow old. Let wisdom increase. He will arrive at agreeing with the message. This is the eternal truth of God. This is the final work that is happening already.
What also comes to me now is that, like some people, it's not as you they will return to only you as the family. No, there is a place like another state. From example, told me, he was showing me that if he give any man assignment and grant the man to do his will, and he fail, and he die, and that the same thing that you said, he said you can even carry that man from the outside, from another state or outside country to your own family. Also, you will born.
Yeah.
And
He start his work again.
So if God wants to bring them, he will take them to a right place for them to grow with it.
Yes, for the progress, because the ultimate work of God is actually the person to attain full glorification.
And he said that now, if you want to bring them now, it will not bring them. It will not pass through the old family again, even though the old family are
still on earth.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It will not pass through the old family.
It can happen like that, yes. That's like Corinthians say, God gives that soul the body that He pleases. God will allocate. And so these are tough things that people shy away from, but they are tough truths. They are very tough truths that is already happening and playing out. And for God will say, if you don't believe, wait 200 years. You will believe. That guy, the truth will keep playing out. That is God for you. God doesn't. God is. So we really thank God for what is happening. So the righteous generation has already begun by the seventh trumpet, fullness of God being bettered, replacing until the whole earth is a word called God. That is it. The word called God.